Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Mother, hold our hand, take us from unreal to real. Guide us from darkness of ignorance to the wisdom of light. Take us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Have you ever reflected? We chant the Shanti mantra. Asato ma satgamaya. Take us from unreal to real. What is not unreal? What is real? And what is unreal? Real is Brahman. What is unreal is what is not Brahman. And there is nothing in this universe which is not Brahman. So apparently everything is unreal. This is where you get connected to 2022, Alan Aspect and John Clevenger, and they discovered, the Nobel Prize winner, this world is locally not real. This world is not real. What it appears to you. Today, I want you to understand. Take us from darkness of ignorance to wisdom of light. What is light? Light is Brahman. And what is darkness of ignorance? We think we are this body and the mind, and this is what is real. This world is real. This mountain, the ocean, the Switzerland and the Himalayan is real. This is the ignorant. From there to the reality. So, and death to immortality. What is death? Death is what is changing, changing, changing. Body keeps on from tiny baby's age, growing, 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 middle age, and then old age and deterioration and dies. Now, understand, today is a powerful day. Every day is powerful in God's word, but today symbolically is Buddha Purnima. Buddha Purnima, most people think is the birth of Buddha. Well, for your wisdom and the knowledge, no, it is not very clear. It's today, data-wise, Buddha's exact date of birth is not known. And when did Buddha get his enlightenment? When he became Buddha. From Siddhartha, he became Buddha. It's not known. So this particular day, on the full moon day, it is both the celebration of Buddha's birthday and celebration of the Nirvana, which is his new birthday. Meaning, he's born, he's liberated to become who he actually is. But now I want to ask you a question. Full moon night, clear sky, beautiful moon. Do you ever look at the moonlight and tell your friends, your partner, your parent, your brother, sisters, what beautiful sunlight? No, we don't. We say, what beautiful moonlight. But how can it be? Scientifically, you and I know that moon doesn't have its own light. Then how can it be moon's light? It is the sun's light which is reflected through the moon. And in a very metaphorical understanding, very crude way of understanding, what is nirvana, what is enlightenment, what is liberation, is when you become Buddha, Paramahansa. What is Buddha? Buddha means the one who knows. Have you realized Buddha is the one who knows, right? And Buddhu is the one who doesn't know. Realize both have got B-U-D-H. Have you realized that? Now, what is this liberation? I'm going to touch upon the essence of the liberation as per Vedanta way, Buddha got his enlightenment. I will talk about how this enlightenment took place. Buddha, as you recollect, was born as a prince, and Shuddhodana, his father, and the mother, they went ahead and wanted to have a great king. But the astrologers came as soon as the baby was born. Mother had a dream illuminate the garden. She was traveling, that a white elephant is entering her body. And this story goes on that the baby was born. Naturally, the king called all the great astrologers and pundits. They were given hundreds of cows with their horn laden with gold. Son is born to the kingdom. Shuddhodana was a great king, and he wanted a better king, emperor king, as his son. So he asked, and the astrologers said, either he will be a great monk or he will be a greatest of emperor. So Shuddhodana and mother asked, what is the difference? How? He said, if he sees suffering, then he will become a monk, because he will find the answer to that suffering. And if he doesn't see suffering, he will be the greatest emperor. So naturally, King Shuddhodana created a palace where he was given everything. Got him married very early. He studied various Upanishads and Shastras. And at the age of 27 and a half, his wife gave birth to their son, Rahul. And now that son is born, father till then did not ever allow Siddhartha to go out of the palace, because he didn't want him to suffer or see any sickness, disease, suffering, nothing. Nobody was allowed to enter somewhere close to him who was either suffering or was old or was sick. No one was allowed. Only happiness, joy, abundance, wealth, fun, pleasure was around Siddhartha. Great prince. And when he was about 29, he was allowed to go out. He went with his Sarathi and he saw, all of you must have studied in your school days, detailed. He saw one old man. He asked his charioteer, the Sarathi, what is this? He had never seen an old man. He said, everybody gets old. So Buddha asked, Siddhartha asked, I will also get old. Sarathi said, yes, everybody gets old. Little later, he saw one sick man lying on the road, emancipated. He said, what has happened to him? He said, he's sick. Everybody gets sick. He said, everybody gets sick? I, as Prince Siddhartha, will also get sick? He said, yes. Whether you're prince or not, anybody can get sick. Siddhartha is getting confused and thinking, deep in thought. And then he sees a dead body being carried on the head. He said, what has happened to him? He said, he is dead. Sarathi tells him. He said, what is dead? It is only his body. He is not alive, like you and I are alive. Can you imagine? The Prince Siddhartha did not know what is death, what is sickness, what is old age. And then he finds one monk. And he said, who is he? And they said, he is the liberated one. He's trying to find peace in life. Now Siddhartha goes back and he deep in thought. And son, as soon as he became 1.5, Siddhartha left quietly the kingdom at night. And do you know, When he attained Bodhisattva, that means he left the palace at 29. When he was 44, he came back to initiate his wife, his mother, his father. And his wife asked him, couldn't you have attained this Bodhisattva while staying in the palace? He said, yes, I could have, but I did not know that. You know, Buddha went around at that time, everybody was searching for peace and happiness and joy, ananda, and how to win over suffering. There were more than 1800 schools of these yoga principles, searching for which is the best way. And the more the searches were going on, increasing thoughts were coming in, mushrooming different branches. Patanjali came in at that time. Buddha was about 2500 years ago. Jesus Christ about 2000. Shankaracharya, who brought back Hinduism after Buddha, is about 1400 years ago. Just to place you on time scale. Buddha and search for 12 other co-friends and disciples. They were all working together and searching. Buddha attained 8 different samadhis during his search, but it did not give him that peace and happiness. When he was in samadhi, he attained. When he came back, he was back into the reality of the world. Not happy. And then there was a process at that time called samana. Is not eating food, not hunting for food. Generally, you and I always what? Always hunting for food. Have you realized that? We always love to eat, and we love to call ourselves foodie. And samana is you will not seek that basic essence for the livelihood called food. You know, in the monks in Himalaya, they call hunger is a disease for which food is the medicine, and to be eaten only one time a day. And they have a beautiful statement, just going off a little bit, they have a beautiful statement. They say they have to beg for their food. One time a day, they can only ask 5 people, because 5 fingers. If 5 people, they do not give him food, or whatever they give him, only that they will eat for that day. This is the strict rules of the monks in Himalaya in India. So they say, Kabhi mutti bhar ghana, meaning rich with ghee food, sometimes very good food. Kabhi mutti bhar ghana, kabhi mutti bhar chana, only one fistful of chana. Kabhi wo bhi mana. This is the famous thing goes around in Himalaya. Sometimes that is not there. So, in this rich time, Buddha took samana, meaning he will not seek, cook, ask for food at all. And he kept walking. Generally those days, unlike today, if you do it, nobody will feed you. You'll go die hungry. Maybe somebody will, because goodness always prevails, especially in India. Maybe. Now, Buddha kept walking, and he became totally skinny. Just skin. I've seen his pictures in Buddhist, in a Bodhigaya. You can see it at the internet. It's just bone, totally sunken face, cheek, only bone and skin. He came across a little river. He was walking and walking till the time he said, I will attain, I will not stop. Now he had to cross that river. River was not deep. It was just 1 ankle deep to little more than ankle deep. He was crossing it. Halfway through, he didn't have any energy. He had not eaten for many days. Some say 14 days. And he just flaked out. He fainted in the water. But Water was flowing. He could have been taken in the water. But he found something, and it was a log of wood. He held on to it. And Buddha, being Buddha, he didn't let go. So he didn't drown. After some time, he was lying, and slowly he came into being. Maybe few minutes, maybe long time. We do not know. But as the events lead down, he came to realize that if I only realize that I am not this body who is taking me across, there is something which is the power within me, which is making me come out and become aware. I'm going to explain that in Vedantic language soon. And Sunday I'll do it in detail, but in brief. He immediately realized that all I had to do, be still, be silent, and till the time I get connected to that which has made me come out. I've not eaten any food. I was unconscious, but I have now, this is called, Vivekananda says, Uttishtata Jagrata. Uttishtata Jagrata, arise and awake. Buddha, something happened to him. Suddenly he got his energy back. He somehow crossed the river and he sat under the tree, which is called that Buddha tree, Bodhi tree. Original Bodhi tree was chopped off by, you will be amazed to hear, Ashoka's wife, who was jealous. Why is Ashoka spending so much of money on Buddha and prompting? So he chopped up the tree. But there is another tree from the same branch. It is a smaller tree. I've been there. You also must have been. He sat under the tree and he said, I will not get up till I attain the enlightenment. And he attained. And he was glowing. And Sujata came across. Sujata got a message and she cooked little payasam with rice and milk and came and gave it to him. He ate it, and thereafter Buddha's journey started. Now, this enlightenment, according to Vedanta, is called liberation to understanding that I am nothing else but consciousness. I'm not this body, not this mind. According to mind, Vedanta, there is only one pure consciousness exists. And this one pure consciousness is everywhere, in everyone, in everything, only one. Which is there in this so-called table, the computer, the recorder, or the slide, or every life form, plants, animals, human being. Now I want you to ask you one question, and before I go ahead. Have you ever thought and reflected, why is it that the human children, babies are born so fragile, so tiny, can't do anything, and that body continues to grow? But look at the animals, babies. They're born, they are quite self-dependent. Look at the plants as they're born. They're fragile, but they continue to be. Look at a deer, a camel's baby, a giraffe's baby. And do you know when a giraffe baby falls from that height, giraffe gives the birth standing and the sac breaks, and do you know giraffe mother gives a one kick to that bag to tear it open. Kick. And then it gives another kick. Then the baby gets up and starts to stumble, fall, get up and starts running. Now giraffe mother says, now it is peaceful. Right after birth. And human babies, years together. Why is it? We are so fragile. Look at us, our body. We are so vulnerable to a wild elephant, a tiger, or a wild bear. Why is it that we are so fragile? and tigers, elephants. Have you ever thought of it? A bison. Bison, the big horn. They can tear us apart anytime. And yet, look at it. Human beings make the elephant a pet, a tiger a pet, a bear a pet. It, in other words, wins over their hostility. So now, did you know a chimpanzee and a human being? Chimpanzee is the closest genetically to the human body. Only difference is genetically 1.23% is a chimpanzee different than a human being. Bodily, genetically. But intellectually, consciousness wise, mind wise, heavens apart. So, why are we so fragile? So tiny body? Very simple. The giant which is more powerful than anybody is that Buddha within us. It's the consciousness within us. And the journey of you and I, through Vedanta, through any spiritual process of any religion, is to realize that one consciousness within. Is the journey which we are doing. What is Advaita Vedanta? Advaita means only one. Vedanta, what is Vedanta? Vedanta is, Veda is the knowledge, and Anta in one way is to say end of all knowledge. The right way, the perfect way is the cutting edge of the knowledge. Anta is like a knife, cutting, sharp knife, cutting edge of the knowledge is the Vedanta. It cuts through all ignorance and gives you light of wisdom, which is Brahman. Brahman is that light, Brahman is real, and Brahman is eternal. Now, through Maya, which is illusion, which makes a rope look like a snake, Ishvara, which is God, is what? Brahman plus Maya. Where is Maya coming from? This is what is Mother Kali, who is standing on top of Lord Shiva. Shiva is Brahman. And the power of Brahman makes Mother Kali empowered to create this universe. This Maya plus Brahman is Ishvara. And this Ishvara and Jiva. Jiva is Maya plus Brahman plus this little body is called sentient being, is who we are. Now, because of the interplay, mixing of Ishvara and Jiva, that is us, the human being, sentient being, and God, which is Maya and Brahman, we create this universe. And here, our thought processes, our vision, our imagination is very powerful. This is why I keep sharing with you. Right, brothers, imagine they're going to fly. They flew today, you and I flying because of Wright brothers' imagination. Henry Ford, imagine, visualize. We're going to. This is the power of the vision. It's entirely, extremely powerful. This life, what we are talking about. So, this combination of this consciousness called Chit. And this Chit is like the sunlight, like moon, full moon today, morning. Sunlight falls on the surface of the moon, and moon reflects it onto the earth, which is the moonlight, which is not real. Same way, just understand that this Chit or consciousness is reflecting on the mind and putting reflective consciousness. This reflective consciousness put the power to the brain, to the body, to our senses to see the world. Mind becomes reflective consciousness, puts the power onto the brain, onto the senses, onto this body, and makes us realize this world through the five senses. Have you noticed one thing? All the senses go outwards. If you have a mosquito sitting on your skin or an ant biting you, you know it. But do you know what is happening underneath the skin? How much of blood is flowing? No. You eat the food up to the throat, you know, you're tasting it. The moment it goes inside, you don't know. The senses are all outwards. Now, this confusion is that reflective consciousness and consciousness makes you and I get to think, I am this body, I am a name, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a form, I am this age, I have got this role to play, father, mother, director, president, or simple praja, simple people of the world. So Vedanta is telling us this world and this body is the sentient being is because of the confusion between the body, mind, and the reflective consciousness. This body, our mind, and that mind which is powered by the consciousness, Chaitana, reflective consciousness, like the moon. You say, I am this mind. But that I is not I. You say, I am this body. That I is not this I. The ignorant people say, when I say I, they mean this name, this face, this form, this mind, and the function. Enlightened people, they have three meanings. One meaning is what you and I ignorant people say. I am this body, mind, name and form and function. Enlightened people, when they say I, Paramahansa, Buddha, it means two things. One is the reflective consciousness, which means what? In the samsara. Easy way to understand it, when you see a mirror, you have the mirror, you have your reflective face in the mirror, and you have your real face. Okay? Think. The moment you have a reflective surface called mirror, and you have a reflection and of your face, consciousness of the, which is Brahman, and the reflected face to the body and the mirror, it is called samsara, this world. What is this reflective face? Is the reflective consciousness. What is this face? Is the consciousness. What is the mirror? Are the senses with which you perceive the world. The moment you remove the reflective surface, mirror, and the reflective face, you have attained Buddha. You attain Paramahansa, Samadhi. Buddha attained that oneness with the consciousness. Yours and my journey is to understand this. So, confusion between consciousness, that is Chit, and Chit Vasa, which is reflective consciousness, is what is that consciousness and what is reflective consciousness. What is Chit and what is Chidakash? What is the relationship? The very simple relationship. In Himalaya, they say very simple relationship is Beokufi ke matra hai, meaning we are absolutely fooled to say there is a relationship. What is the relationship between your face and the mirror? Reflective face in the mirror and this face, what's the relationship? There is no relationship. The face alone is real, that is not real, that is Maya. More on Sunday. Welcome, and may the eternal blessings of the Buddha be upon all of us. The greatest human being ever lived on this earth, as encountered by Westerner, Easterner, India, everybody considers Buddha has been the greatest human being ever lived on this earth. I pray for you and your entire family, protection from all suffering, sickness, disease, and attain abundance of this world. Get connected to that consciousness and take up the journey. The moment you're connected, you can attain anything. Vedanta says, Sarvam Kama. Whatever you can think of, dream of, it will happen. Why don't people do it then? You know why? Secret. You know why? Because they're ignorant. Bewakufi ka matra hai. We don't know. We think I am this body and I'm limited to this mind and the name. Jai Guru.